everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I decided to share, guess what, another Korean recipe. I actually really like Korean dishes and Korean cuisine as is. I really like to go to Korean restaurants, so I do enjoy their dishes. So I try to find recipes or kind of see what they serve and try to recreate these recipes sometimes. So today I'm gonna show you how to make Korean eggplant side dish. So let me show you the ingredients like always. So of course, since we're making eggplant, you're going to need eggplant. And I'm not using just any kind of eggplant. I'm using what they call Korean eggplant. So they're a little bit longer, as you can see, and a little bit lighter in color than your usual eggplants that you see in grocery stores. So I did buy this at the Asian supermarket. So I'm going to use about 2 eggplants, and this is just over 1 pound, but once we cut off the ends, it will be about 1 pound. You're also going to use some red pepper flakes, and these are not your original red pepper flakes. These are also sold at the Asian food store, so they're a little bit different, so you should really buy them there. So this is 2 teaspoons. You're also going to need some green onions. So I have a very big one, so I'm just using 1, or if you have smaller ones, just use 2. And also you're going to need some fresh garlic. So this is peeled fresh garlic, and again, mine look like king size. They were huge, so it's just 1, but really if you have little ones, use 4 cloves of garlic. You're also going to need sesame seeds. These are just roasted sesame seeds, some pure sesame oil, and just some regular soy sauce, and I use not the light one but the original one. And that's all the ingredients you need to make this. So behind me on the stovetop, I have a pot of boiling water, and inside I have an insert to steam, like a steamer basket. So the first thing we're gonna do, while you need to get that water boiling, and once it boils, you're gonna place this in the steaming basket. So let me show you. So the first thing you're gonna do, and before I begin, I should also mention that if you have a device like a rice cooker that can steam for you, you can use that instead. But I like my pot of water with a steamer basket. So let's just start working on the eggplant, because you want to cook that while you're making the sauce pretty much to marinate this in. So I'm going to just cut off the ends on both sides. And you can kind of lift up these so you don't cut off as much. Like you can just peel this and just cut like here, for example. You can cut less. Okay, so same thing here. And then just cut off so you waste less eggplant. But now I need 1 pound, so for me it's okay to remove these bigger pieces. Okay, so here's what you want to do. You want to take your eggplant and you're going to cut about like this. So approximately the same size. Now, if you have very, very thick parts like this, I would suggest you cut these into 4, so like that. If you have narrower parts, something like this, you can get away with just cutting in half like this. Okay, now this is a pretty big eggplant, so I'll actually quarter this one for all of them. Now this is more narrow, so for this one you can do halves or quarters, really up to you. Okay, so that's how you want your eggplant to look. So now let's go over to the stove top, and we're just going to steam this without any salt or anything. Just going to put this in a steaming basket. Okay, so this is the pot of water I've been telling you about, with the water already boiling. So the water just needs to be below the steaming basket, not going on top of it. So you're just going to place all of this eggplant into your steaming basket, or into any steamer that you like to use. I have a rice cooker that does the steaming option, but somehow I still prefer my basket. Okay, so you're just going to cover this with a lid, and you're going to reduce your heat to something like a medium heat, just because if it boils for too long on a high heat, the water will reduce and it can completely dissipate, and you have some burning smell. So make sure that the water can boil for a long time on a medium heat pretty much. So you're going to let this steam for about 5 minutes or so, after which you will come back and check with a fork or a knife to see if it's tender enough. So let's leave it for 5 minutes. Okay, so the eggplant is cooking, so let's not waste any time, and let's start working on the rest of these ingredients to make the marinade for this eggplant. So let's cut up the green onion. So you just want to slice it. Okay, so let's place the green onion into the bowl. We're going to be mixing all these things together with the eggplant at the end. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this garlic through a garlic press. And yes, I like to put this through a garlic press for this recipe. But you can also mince the garlic if you prefer. Okay, so this is the green onion and garlic. So now let's add the rest of the ingredients. So the first thing you're going to need is red pepper flakes, so 2 teaspoons. You can use more or less, you can use none, but they don't only add the spiciness, they add the special taste as well. So really, if you can use some spiciness level, if you like some spiciness, then definitely add them. And if you want, just add them less. Or if you want really spicy, you can always add more. So that's that. You're also going to use some roasted sesame seeds. And these I kind of just eyeball, so maybe like a tablespoon or a little bit more. If you want extra flavor, you can always crush them in your hand, but I like it just like this. You're also going to need 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, as well as I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And just mix this all together. Of course, if you taste this dish after and you feel like you want more salt, you can go ahead and add a teaspoon or so of salt to your liking. But I usually think that this is enough for me. Like I always say, because sometimes if you're using a bigger green onion, you need a little bit more liquid. So you can always add a little bit more oil or a little bit more soy sauce, or both proportionally. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add about half tablespoon more of sesame oil, just because my green onion was pretty big and it got all covered in the green onion, and about another half tablespoon of soy sauce. Okay, so just mix it and let it stand. So of course you want to cook up your eggplants and place it in here, and you always want to let it marinate. I find a lot of these Korean side dishes actually taste better even the next day after the fridge, after they had time to marinate. But always give it minimum 30 minutes before you want to eat it. But I would suggest giving it like 2 hours, 4 hours, just so the eggplant really marinates, or anything in fact that you make has time to marinate. So let's go back to the stovetop and see how our eggplants are doing. So it's been 5 minutes now. So let's just take like a knife, or if you want, you can use like a chopstick, and you just want to put it through your eggplants and see if they're ready. And of course, as you can see, it's going in very easily. You don't want to overcook them because they become very mushy. So I'm just going to turn off my stove top, and I'm going to use some kind of a tool to get these out. Okay, so just grab a bowl, and you're going to just take these out into a bowl. They're very, very hot, so the next thing you want to do is just let them sit and cool down before we continue working on them. So now the eggplant has cooled down. So the next thing you want to do is, using your hands, you're going to take these eggplant pieces and you're just going to kind of tear them just like that. They don't have to be perfect or anything. You just want kind of long strips just like that. And you're going to place it into that bowl. And you're going to do that for all of them. If some of the skin doesn't want to tear and it kind of just peels off from the rest of the eggplant, you can just throw it out. It's up to you, because it's harder to eat than the actual eggplant. But otherwise, if you can tear it together just like that, then keep it with the skin. Okay, everyone, so we have tear up our whole eggplant. So now you need to mix this with the marinade that we made and mix it really, really well. And then you're gonna let it sit. Like I said, at least 30 minutes, but you can even eat it next day from the fridge. It is really good after 2, 4, 5 hours of marination. It just gets tastier and tastier. Like I also said, try it right now and see. You may want to add some salt right away, but sometimes I like to let it sit for these at least 30 minutes to an hour. After that, I taste it and see if I want to add a little bit of salt to this. So there you go, the Korean eggplant side dish is ready. So let's see up close. So this is Korean eggplant with some garlic, green onion, sesame seeds, and a whole list of ingredients that you can see at the beginning of the video. So the sauces for the marinade are all shown at the beginning. And I hope you really try and make this at home, and I hope you enjoy. If you're a vegetarian, this is also a very great dish for you. The eggplants are very filling. It is not hard to make, and it's absolutely vegetarian friendly. So you can make this and have it with a side of rice, for example, and it would be like a filling meal for you. So I really hope you enjoyed another recipe from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next recipe. I have a few more recipes Korean to share with you. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.